So shall I get the robot to move around a little bit? Yeah. So you won't have anything to look at up there. So I have to shut it down, reboot it. But what we'll do is we'll do so this is the robot. So it's got a netbook on it, running Ubuntu, which has got ROS installed on it. I've got ROS installed on this machine, running Ubuntu. It's got a Connect, and it's got a base that's very much based on the Roomba. So a lot of robotics people were using the Roomba, the vacuum cleaner that drives around your living room, which had a serial port on it. And they very handily left the serial port on it when they sold them in shops and released the documentation for the serial port so that people could actually use it to do things. Because at the end of the day, they just wanted to sell the hardware. Yeah, it's not going to come up there, is it? I'll tell you that, right? Yeah. Now, what you won't be able to see is the really exciting bit, because what we can get it to do, I can do the same kind of tele-op thing where I can drive it around using the keyboards, but I can turn the Connect on, and it can use the camera in the Connect to start drawing and mapping the room. So as it's driving around, it knows where it is, and it can tell where things are, and it draws the walls and places where it's moving around. You can then save that as a map, and you can start saying, you're here at the moment, I want you to go there, and it knows the bits it can't go through because it's seen things that are in the way, and it can work out the path that it needs to take. We won't get to that point because that bit didn't work when I tried it. I'll tell you, it's a work in progress. Right, we haven't quite boosted into Ubuntu. No, I couldn't put it on top of the projector, that would fall off. That would. Right, I'm at the login screen and I'm logging in.
What do you see on the screen? You tried turning it off and on again.
Believe you me, I've done that quite a few times over lunchtime. No, it still doesn't see that it's got a monitor connected to it. Right, so I'm just going to run ifconfig and check that I've got the network address that I think I'm going to get. Yeah, let's just turn off the Wi-Fi so that I don't get confused. Okay, I have got not the most compelling demonstration. Yes, I've got the address aspect. Right, okay. So the first thing I'm going to do, SSH into the turtle box. Turtle box at 192.168.0.101. Okay, and while it's thinking about that, I'm going to turn the base on, otherwise it's not going to move. Okay. So this is working so far, you'll be pleased to know. I'm not swearing and shouting, so we're moving forward. Okay, so I need to launch the processes on the Turtlebot that will be able to control it. So let me just get my cheat sheet. Which one is it? There you go. It's just launching, it's just launching. Start recovery, no. It's one of those days. I don't need to recover it. Okay, so fingers. No, it's definitely one of those days. If you all shut your eyes so you're not looking at me, and then it'll work. Yeah. Yes. Okay, and then just open the document anyway. Thank you. Right. Okay. I'm now going to launch the process on there. Fingers crossed. Okay, that's the sign to say that it's working. So I shall open another window and again. Just need to wait for the window to come up. Okay, and launch the keyboard control. Of course, this would be so much more entertaining if you could see me copying and pasting stuff at the command line. Okay, so now I should be able to press the keys and drive the robot. Okay. Now we want to see what's coming from the Connect. Now, we'll have to, at some point,
hold it up and turn it around, and those with good eyesight will be able to see it. The screen. Your laptop.
You won't be able to type that.
yeah, but
With a laptop with a webcam pointing at the screen.
yeah. Or just an operating system that works with projectors. Right, I'm getting loads of errors, of course, because nothing else has worked today. So why should this work? Let's just see if it works anyway. And if not, it goes to the pub. Oh no, wrong process. So, this is kind of towards the end of the presentation, as you probably guess. Has anybody got any questions?
Did you say that base was based on Roomba, or actually was a vacuum cleaner?
No, it's based on Roomba. They'd used Roomba to do that kind of thing. And to some extent, they then kind of learned, well, these are the things that are good about it, and these are the things that we do instead. So it's got some nice features, like lots of connections for more power and things like that. So there's a 12-volt supply on the back. You can put a big chunky rechargeable battery in. Yeah, no, this isn't quite working. I'll do it again later, but people can see it.
My other question is, do you need a full, like a whole laptop on there, or will you be using something low power and small?
It depends what you're trying to do. So, like all those things, how much processing power do I need to put there? Depends how much you want to do. If you want to talk to the Connect, yes you do, because I don't know that anyone's got the Connect working with the Raspberry Pi yet.
The USB doesn't work well.
Yeah,
USB,
the last time I saw it, they hadn't done. But you can run ROS on a Raspberry Pi, so if you were just driving the robot base, you could do that. But if you want to do the camera vision stuff,
A Beaglebone would probably work.
yeah. I mean, Beaglebone is a better platform for it.
Yeah.
Somebody worked on Google Summer of Code getting it working on Beaglebone.
Yeah. We weren't using a Connect, but we're using a similar webcam or
Yeah.
something. Kind of.
So that's how quick, easy and convenient it is. How well it all works. But I mean, I'm just here basically because, you know, share early, share often. I haven't got it all working, but it's got everything that you would possibly need, and lots of people working with it. Really good documentation. Documentation on their website is some of the best documentation I've seen for an open source project. Talking you through how to get stuff up and running. Responsive forum, all those kind of things. I haven't been as excited about something that I found that I wanted to use since I found Arduino. So it's kind of, it's not going to be as mainstream as that because not as many people work on robots. But I think it's potentially significant. I'll fiddle away somewhere and get it running, and it will be drawing in the visualizer what it saw, the bits that were obstructions, the bits that weren't and building up a bar. And that would have been the ta-da moment. It was an hour moment, never a moment. So that's it, unless there's any more questions.
Just one more. What does that, if you ignore the laptop, what's the rest of that kit run to?
This was about £1,000, including the Connect, including the laptop, including the base. They publish the files for making these, so you can make your own. You can buy the base by itself. You can buy your own Connect. The documentation around it. The base, they don't publish the documentation for you. Buy that. But basically, any kind of moving base that you can build up a UDRF for, you can start using.
What's the sort of base price for the lowest model robot arm?
I don't know. You could make one with pan and tilt servo.
You can buy them from Macklin for about 30 quid.
Yeah,
Yes.
but some of them are ROS, I think.
No,
If you wrote a URDF for it, yes,
yeah,
it
you
would.
just back it onto it.
It probably hasn't got one out of the box.
Yeah.
So, you know, we paid a bit more for these, so they came with that already. So we could get our heads round actually getting it to do stuff, and then go back and look at how you do stuff like describing the platform and stuff. But there's about 30 robots that have got well-developed stuff for ROS. Most of them are in that video. Driving and climbing and stuff.
How abstracted is the ROS thing from actual hardware? Is it possible to just go ahead and do your own homebrew arm, for example, and get this ROS stuff to work, with that hardware? Or is it-
Absolutely.
it's not
You would just need to write a node.
Yeah.
A node that got the information that you needed, or published the information that you wanted. So it's very common. So there are things like laser scanners that do the same kind of thing as a Connect, but they cost a lot more. They either go 360 or they do about 270 degree, and the laser's scanning around. All the common ones for those that you can buy, people have written nodes for. So if you buy a Hiroko laser scanner, there's a Hiroko laser scanner node. You launch it with the scanner plugged in and it just publishes the information. You could do exactly the same.
Just building on that question, is anybody using ROS for unmanned rail vehicles or unmanned aerial vehicles?
Yeah.
A bit bigger?
Yes, 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 and yes. Yeah. In that original video that was showing as people came in, all those robots were running ROS. So they're trying stuff in healthcare. There's a company called ClearPath Robotics in America who do a lot of all-terrain vehicles, and they're very strong supporters of ROS. They have a boat that runs ROS, about that big, that is doing sonar scanning on lakes. So going up and down, and measuring stuff below and doing blocks of lakes and tracking pollution moving across lakes. They've got a thing for a husky, it's about that big, with big chunky wheels that drives around and is autonomously. There's lots of quadcopters that people have done implementations for. Yeah. Tons of stuff. We're going to be running...
What does ROS actually stand for?
Robot Operating System. Should have started. And we're going to be running an event at Middlesex at some point, but we haven't been able to get definite dates. They keep changing because we've got 10 of these that people can potentially play around in. So we're going to do a weekend. It would be called a hack day if the IET were happy with the word hack, but they're not. So we're going to call hack in any description. So it's probably going to be called a workshop, but we won't be actually teaching people stuff. So you'll kind of come along and play around, but if anybody's interested, let me know, and we'll send you details when we know what it is. But it'll be before Christmas sometime. So, also in London, there's going to be a group of people meeting up who are interested in doing this kind of stuff. So we're going to from London or what's to come down.
Is that going to be on meetup.com or?
I can't remember where it is. I just replied to the email, but I can dig it out. Let me know.